So I'm Emma Hilton. I'm a developmental biologist at the University of Manchester, which you will know is the home to the suffragette movement. The host of the first meeting of the TUC.
Closer, a bit louder.
Okay, hello, is that better? Host of the first meeting of the TUC in a space that we've managed to still secure for women to discuss, assemble their political needs. Okay, so next slide. And I was going to do loads of funky slides, but I think we'll just leave that up there. I know, what's that? So, because it apparently still needs saying, I'm going to talk about sex differences between males and females, and sports differences, and about why bodies with vaginas are actually whole human beings who deserve a fair crack at sport. So, some developmental biology, and I'm going to start at key stage 2. I looked this up. This is aimed at 7-year-olds. Males and females are built differently because we do different things in reproduction. Males have testicles that make sperm to be delivered by the penis. Females have ovaries that make eggs, which will be fertilized by sperm and grow within her uterus into a baby. A baby held safely in place by, pay attention, the cervix. That's just one of the many important functions of the cervix, an amazing part of a woman's body that we call the female reproductive system. So we'll move to key stage 3. This is now 11-year-olds. These different reproductive systems develop in the uterus under the influence of genes and then hormones. So we're making reproductive anatomy as we're growing in a uterus. But the role of hormones doesn't stop at shaping bodies that can reproduce. At puberty, hormones cause males and females to develop sex-specific secondary characteristics that in an evolutionary sense get them laid. The most obvious differences in these secondary characteristics are that males are bigger and stronger. They are taller, they have longer bones, they have broad shoulders and narrow hips, etc. Bigger muscle mass, particularly in the upper body. And their muscles are built differently. They attach to the bones differently. They can detect nerve signals differently. They have bigger hearts, bigger lung surface, and they can carry more oxygen around their bodies. So that's the basic biology done for school children. We can move on a bit. Male humans are built for hunting and fighting. And there are thousands of physical differences between them and females. And they aren't always obvious. Males are twice as fast as females at accurately detecting the trajectory of a moving object. And that's really helpful when you're trying to chuck a spear at a rabbit. It's also really helpful when you're trying to intercept a rugby ball. So it's no surprise, when considering the nature of most sport, that physical differences between males and females lead to performance differences. Height and long fingers mean that males can palm a basketball and they can slam dunk that basketball. Males can run 10% faster, they can jump 20% longer, they can throw 50% further, and they can lift 65% heavier than females. They've got broader shoulders and greater upper body mass. They're nearly twice as strong as females in their upper body, and they can punch 2.5 times harder.
Emma?
Move the mic up.
Keep it near you.
Closer to your mouth.
So the evidence of this is written over elite, club and school records. And it's the reason that female athletes need a protected sports category. Without them, we cannot hope to win. In some sports, we wouldn't even make the top 10,000. So let's go back to what causes all this male athletic superiority. I said earlier, it's hormones, specifically testosterone. This is the make male hormone. the make penis hormone, the make sperm hormone. It's also the make height hormone, the make muscle hormone. Testosterone has delivered us athletes like Anthony Joshua and Jonah Lomu, and more than a few female champions too. But nothing is simple. It's not testosterone that males have at 30 years old that's doing the work. It's the testosterone they had at 13 years old. Schoolboys can run faster than elite female world records. Male puberty is the making of both the hunter-fighter and the sub-10 second 100 metre sprint. With that in mind, thinking about trans women in sports now, it's difficult to understand how males who have experienced male puberty can be, as most sports federations and the IOC seem to believe, fairly included in female sports, if they, as adults, lower their testosterone. They have acquired male advantage during puberty, and you cannot unboil an egg. You cannot unbuild a male by suppressing testosterone after its effects have been cemented in. And that's borne out by the scientific data that we have. The consensus findings over many papers now studying trans women suppressing testosterone is that their skeleton doesn't change and they lose a little bit of muscle mass and strength, about 5%. Compared with twice as much baseline advantage, 100% advantage in the upper body, losing 5% of that, 50% difference in the lower body. These small changes, these small losses of strength, don't meaningfully eat into the baseline advantage that males have in athletics. They don't eat into male advantage, and we know that male advantage makes a person ineligible for female sports. The very category is set up to exclude male advantage. And in fact, some trans women don't lose any strength at all. There is a large body of evidence showing that training offsets losses when testosterone is suppressed. And if testosterone suppression in adulthood cannot remove male athletic advantage, particularly if someone is training, then self-identification into a sporting category by gender collapses sex-segregated sport altogether. You may as well segregate sport by religion or political leaning. And the people who benefit from this are male people. The males who make the decisions get to feel warm and fuzzy, they get congratulated about how inclusive they are. And the males who benefit from the promotion from old, tired, out-of-shape weightlifter to an Olympic athlete. While on that Olympic weightlifting platform, a female was pushed from the sporting category designed to secure her right to compete. To that, we say, no thank you. We are women, and unless you are prepared to say that women do not deserve to participate equally and fairly in sports, then our equal and fair participation requires, apologies to Virginia Woolf here, our equal and fair participation requires a team of one's own.